Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, again, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle, and we're having coffee. And you might notice something a little different about me this morning. My hair is different because I am different. So my tendency is to wake up not real happy and not in great energy, and this morning was no different, only it was heavier than usual. And I do what I need to do to work myself out of that on a regular basis because I don't like to feel like that. So I will reach out to Creator, go down into my heart space, bring the energy in that's going to make me feel better. And generally a reading for myself will help remind me of who I am and why I'm here and all of that stuff that at least I go through regularly. I almost came on without my makeup this morning and then decided that that was just a little too real. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Mandolin. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Christina. And so I did my reading this morning and realized it was a reading for us all. The truth is that I rarely wake up joyously. I rarely wake up in a good space. My habit most of my life is to wake up in panic. And lately it's been, not the panic has not been worse, but the pain. And it's not something I share a lot just because I don't like whiners. And so I don't practice whining a lot myself, but I really felt like I needed to share the truth of this with you all. And so the main card, the main theme. So when I did pull the cards, I thought, this is for everybody today. As energetic beings and as light workers, for the truth of it is we are influenced greatly by the energy coming in. And yes, Mandolin, grief as well. You know, Chris died 4 months ago. I was not going to cry. In fact, I wasn't even close to tears this morning. But the truth is, this isn't all that different for me from how I've been most of my life, and just work through and bring myself back up because that's how I choose to be. Certainly with what's gone on. And I'm also, as we all are, hardest on myself for giving in to weakness. And I've been, for myself, most of my life pretty darn rigid with myself. And with Christine's illness, I let go of the rigidity. I lived like I wanted, ate like I wanted, drank like I wanted, all of it. And I still am pretty much, because my truth growing up was food was comfort. And I've spent most of my teenage and adult life, you know, working on shedding weight and eating only a certain way and for health and all of that. And so anyway, enough said about that. But I relaxed with it all and just allowed myself to do what I felt like doing, and still am. But there's a fear that creeps in when you lack the control over yourself, which is, for me, the hardest thing to control, and I'm sure all of us. Then what's going to happen? Everything's going to come undone, and holy cow, life is going to just implode. That is that underlying belief. So the first card I drew for all of us this morning is Remain Centered. Today's lesson, focus on conscious tranquility. And that is, you know, that is really, like I said, what I do pretty much on a daily basis, because I don't wake up in a place of peace or self-love or ease most of the time. Why? Who knows? It's been that way most of my life. So I work on that. No matter what stressful or how stressful the day is, your intention is to remain centered and calm. Your goal to learn that you can control your psychic energy. And that is truly what I do on a regular basis and what I love to teach people, because that's how we can empower them is to manage their own energy and manage my own energy. And that's what I've done even when I didn't know I was doing it from a child on. Had a wonderful day yesterday with my family. I am so blessed with my girls and my grandkids and my in-laws that they brought into our life. And so to wake up like this morning, yeah, Candace, we do need that message. But to wake up like this morning surprised me, and it was heavier than usual for me. So at any rate, the next card, and I drew all of them from Denise Linn's Sacred Traveler today. I love the beauty of these cards, but choosing your path, that's like choosing the energy. That is what we can do. We don't have to stay in that place of heaviness, of doubt. And that's really where it comes from, fear. And that is a battle I think we all have to work on daily, is that battle against the fear that we've taken on throughout our life, we've lived with. It's so funny. The comments are right in the middle of my face, so I hope, well, you don't necessarily need to see me, but good morning, Maggie. Maggie has posted some amazing things, and Maggie, please feel free to post those on Wisdom Guided Oracle too. She's got some amazing things and some fun. She and I have a perspective that's very similar, and an irreverence that's very similar. So choose your path, because all is possible. Choose to keep focusing on what you want to have happen, even when it's difficult to dream, and to bring that into a space of daydreaming and feeling how good that's going to feel. Because the truth of it is, a lot of times we can't feel that wonderfulness. So go to something that does feel wonderful. For me, that's my granddaughters and the joy they bring, and just the fun of being with them. The little baby things are just amazing, and watching that little person unfold. Because as you do this, success expands in your life. Gates of triumph. If we choose to wallow where we are, we will stay there, and it's not a productive place to be, nor is it fun. And I like to feel good. I like to have fun. And so there's no real, how do I put it? There's no real goddessness involved in my need or the desire to bring myself up. It's because I don't like to feel bad. I don't like to feel down. That's not how I choose to live. And so that is why I go to Creator, and that's why I go to get the messages through Creator from these cards, is because I need that to live in a place where I'm comfortable. And when you do this, joy and delight, open your heart up to joy. So I have an appointment, about 30 miles from home today. And it's not much further to the Snake River for me. And being by a river, being out in nature, and certainly this beautiful time of year, fuels my soul and lifts me. And so once my appointment's done, I'm heading to the river to just sit there and let it help flow away some of the heaviness that's been in my soul for a few days. When we take charge of our energy, and when we choose to live from a place of greater joy, because it is a choice. Everything we do in this life is a choice. And choosing joy over fear, like I said, is not always easy, but when you do, life starts working out for you again, because you're focusing on the good things. You're focusing on what you want to have enter your life, and so it does. The next card I drew was the reverse card. This is Yin and Yang from Sandra Ann Taylor's Energy Oracle cards. And reverse is the Yang aspect. That is it's time to take action. It's time to do things. It's time to get in charge. And Oh, you're welcome, Amanda Lynn. I love you too. And I love you all for just joining me, supporting me, and supporting those around you. And by taking charge of your energy. Again, what we can't share, or we can't change the fact that we share our energy. What we can change is the fact that is the type of energy we share. In fact, my husband is not the most observant man about things. He is very intuitive, but this morning he came down and I was sitting in the chair and he said, "Are you okay? You look kind of blue." I said, "Well, I am." And that's how blue I was because he noticed it. So I choose not to stay there. So I'm taking action. I'm doing something in the middle of the river yesterday. I allowed it to wash away the crap. Thank God. I know, Maggie, water for all of us. And one of the readings I had right at the beginning of this year was water is going to play a big part in this year. And at that point, I was doing lots of hot baths. And so now it's the river water. And I also live close to a river. And that's not the one I'm going to today because I'm going to be close to one I don't get to go to so often. Do what you need to do. Take action about your own energy. Because again, you share energy, and so managing your energy allows the people around you to feel a different kind of energy. And the last card I drew was the Queen of Ariel. Nurture yourself and those you love. I'm going to stop with just nurture yourself because when you do, those you love get nurtured as well. So know that taking care of you, and the truth of it is, nurturing myself from a nutritional perspective over the last few months, not probably the best nutrition. I do eat well, but I've allowed myself to indulge in things that I've beat myself up for through the years for indulging in, and I'm done with that. I am done beating myself up, and also knowing that because somebody said something about they had this smoothie, and it was like, isn't it amazing what food does for our body? It's like, well, that's the only thing our body has to work with is the food we put in it. So I absolutely know that I will be transitioning back to healthier eating, but for now the comfort eating is what I'm doing. I'm allowing that to be okay because when I don't, that's when the demons really start entering in about how naughty I am, how bad it's going to be, what it's doing to me, all of that crap that we can enter into. So I challenge you today, take action about your own energy in some way. Do one thing, if it's just for 10 minutes, that you love to do today. Give yourself that and eat something you know isn't healthy for you, but you love it anyway. So I think that is it. Yes, allow, Candace. Allow things to happen for yourself that are going to be good for you in the long run. Sometimes just allowing ourselves to be ourselves, at least for me, is a real treat and a gift. So that is where my focus is today. Doing what, yes, Maggie, what I need to do for me today. And I'm going to get to visit with some amazing people before I go to the river, so I know that's always going to make my self feel better. And so we don't have to live where we don't want to be. We can change the energy we're living at any given moment, but we do have to remember that and take action on that. Oh my gosh, it's Earth Day today. Thank you, Francesca. I got to tell you, the first Earth Day that we celebrated, I was in 8th grade. And our 8th grade class organized a walk from school to downtown, which was a couple miles. And along the way, we picked up garbage in our town. And I'll never forget that because it was the beginning of an activism that was really, thank you, Maggie, really life-changing for me in a way. And our class, I remember when we graduated from high school, our principal said, this class has the unique gift of being grateful for what they have. And I never forgot that. I loved that. That principal was an amazing man. But that's one way to change energy, is to be grateful for what we do have and work at that. And really, there are just so many little tools, and there are days like today when you got to employ all of them to get your energy back to where you want it to be, so you're standing in a place of greater joy and less heaviness. And again, that's where I choose to live. Being all bummed out is not where I like to be. So I hope this helped some of you today. I hope this prompted some of you to take charge of your own energy, move forward, get out of a place of feeling where you don't want to be, and create one that you do want to live in. I think we're complete for today. Thank you for letting me whine a little bit. Again, I don't do whining, and so I don't whine much. And yet it's funny, I have a friend who has had an incredibly difficult time. She's more of an acquaintance. Someone, if we were to play together, would be a friend. I have very kind of rigid guidelines about who I call friend, but that's just my belief about time and what people will do for you. So anyway, this woman is incredibly talented, and she's had really difficult times, and she shares them on Facebook. I don't think she's a whiner, and yet if I share mine, I feel like I'm whining. So just find a friend. If you need to whine, find a friend that you know will love you anyway, and allow yourself to be the amazing self you really are. And if you don't know what that is, ask to be shown. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side. We just had coffee, and I'm going to have a little bit more, and then I'm going to leave for my appointment. Love and light to you all. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for your supportive statements. Share this if you know someone needs to be lifted up a little bit today and maybe needs a little guidance about how that can happen. Love you all. Bye-bye.